Okay, let's talk about how to make a newspaper in Prezi. First thing you need to do after you log in is click on New Prezi. It will take a moment to load, and that's okay. Don't let that worry you. Now for this Prezi, we're all going to use the same template. And when I scroll down on this first page, I see the template we're going to use. It's the newspaper headline. But if you scroll down and you don't see that, then what you do up here in the search bar is just type in headline. And it's going to come up. And you click it, and then you hit Use Template. Now, if you've looked at the module for this week, you're going to see there are 7 different sections to our newspaper. Now, I've given you an outline for each of those sections, and we're going to talk about that in a moment and how you can kind of play with these sections and do different things with them. But the first thing I want to talk to you about is this heading or title page. What I want you guys to realize is that everything that you see here can be changed. So we want to add a title to our newspaper. Then you just type whatever you want and you add it there. I talked about in the instructions about adding pictures and things like that. See this red thing right here? That's boring. I hate it. I'm going to get rid of it. Something that newspapers always have that I think is kind of neat is like a weather. A little like, what's the weather going to be? So I clicked insert, I clicked image, this pops up, it's Google Images. Go there, find something, here's a sun for a sunny day. Find a picture, and this is for anything, any picture you want, and take it and make it whatever size you want it to be. And of course I want it to be really small because I'm putting it up here. And then move it up here. And now all of a sudden I have this little sun here, which looks nice, and it kind of adds to it. Now let's say I want to say that today is going to be, warm. I want to give like a little weather report. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. There, I just typed high 52. That's way too big. So I'm going to press this little A. I'm going to make it smaller, 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 smaller. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to move it to right there. And I should actually make it a little bit smaller if I wanted to. And you guys are of course going to take much more time on this, and you're going to try really hard. I'm just trying to show you some little things that you can, to help you out with this. But, I want to add text right there. I do it that easily. I just click out here. I start typing. I make it smaller. I make it bigger. I move it to wherever I want to. Same thing over here. Get rid of that red thing. That's awful. And put something else. Put another image of something. Anything. When you think of a newspaper, what do you see on that main front page? You can change that if you want to. You can change the price if you want to. You do need to change the date. February 17, 2014 is not going to work. I ask you to make the date sometime right after World War II ended. So every date you wanted, right after World War II ended, you're going to type that in right there. So I was typing in 1945 and I got an idea of what if you turned this into like an advertisement, like a clothing advertisement or something. So I went over to here and I typed in clothing 1945 and I got this picture of this super cute little couple. And I can stick it right there. I can make it smaller if I want. And then maybe write something like Sears Roebuck and Company. That was a company that was around. Sears was around during that time. It's called Sears Roebuck. And then there I have like a little advertisement that would look, again, cute, and it looks really creative. And you could do whatever you want. Maybe it's a car advertisement. Maybe it's not an advertisement at all. Just whatever you want to make it look nice. Now let me click over here and just kind of look at what I've got. So let's say I've finished with this up here and I'm completely happy with everything that I see there. And so I want to start working in section 1. Now the best way for you to move through your presentation is over here, and you see right here this third slide. You click on that and it's going to take me to this first section. It's going to make it up close so I can see it really well. You want to name it. You want to give it some kind of good heading, and if you look over at your module, you see that section 1 is on what led up to World War II. What were the causes of World War II? So you come back here, you name it whatever you want to. It's the wrong button. And, again, you add a subtitle, and then you just start typing, and you type whatever you want to type. I told you with this one that you can do a summary, you can do a timeline. There was a couple of different things you could do, and there's different ways that you can put it in here. One thing with each section is you have to have some kind of picture. And of course this picture is not going to work because this has nothing to do with World War II. And if you're talking about the causes of World War II, there's one person that you're going to think of or that's going to come to mind over anyone else. And so I came over here and I just typed in Adolf Hitler, and it gave me some pictures. I double click that picture and it's going to come up here and start processing. And as soon as it's done processing, let me delete this picture first. I can get rid of that picture, and then I can put Hitler here. But you know what? Someone else who has a very, very large role in World War II, whose name is maybe not as familiar just because he wasn't known to be such a murderer as Hitler, but it's Mussolini. So if you want to add another picture, which is a great idea, you can find a picture of Mussolini. So I type in just Mussolini, and I like this picture, so I'm going to click on it. And again, once it pops up, I can size it to whatever size that I want and put it or place it wherever I want on this little section. Now, one thing I want to stress to you is rarely is a little box like this going to be enough space for you to type in all the information that you need to type in. And so the way that you fix that is you go up to frames and arrows and you click draw bracket frame, or you can click one of the other ones. You can draw a circle, whatever you like best. I'm going to click draw bracket. And let's say that I'm typing, and I start running out of room. Then what I want to do is add a new frame, say right down here. And watch the left side of the screen. What's going to happen now is a whole new frame, a whole new window just opened up for me. So now I can go into this new area and have a whole new space where I can start typing and adding information. Okay? So again, you're here, but you need more room. You're typing right here, and you're trying to explain all of the causes of World War II, and this is not enough room. What do? You go up here and you add a new frame. You draw in a bracket or a circle or whatever you want. And so what that's going to give you is a whole new section right down here that you can now go into and type even more information. And you can do that over and over. Let's say you still don't have enough room. We'll add another frame. Okay, same thing. It's going to give you a new window over here. You go to that frame and you start typing some more. Okay, so you can always do that to help give you more space whenever you are putting information into these sections, because this is actually one of the larger sections. Look at this section over here. This is your room for section 2. And section 2 is on Pearl Harbor. This and this is not going to be enough room for you to type and to really talk about Pearl Harbor. So, the first thing that you're going to do is, your picture is probably going to be much smaller, okay? So, whatever picture that you like, you find a nice picture that you really like, and you're going to make it much smaller than this right here, and it's very easy to do. You can always move and change things. And so once you've made your Pearl Harbor picture smaller, you can then come in and add a frame, a really big frame, say right over here. And again, watch on the left side of the screen. It added it automatically, and then you just click in it and you start typing. And again, if the font is too big, you press to make it smaller. If you don't like the color, all of this, just like a Word document or just like PowerPoint, all of that is right there for you to use. If you don't want this big area right here, you don't have to have that big area. You can click in it and you can make it, you can move it here and you can make it smaller. You can do whatever you need to do to it. Maybe the best idea for this section altogether is to put the, put the picture up here somewhere. And then you have this entire area down here where you can put, two brackets, this size, two frames this size, or you can make one big large frame where you can have all the room you need to talk about Pearl Harbor. Now, I keep pointing out the left side of your screen over here because this is the order in which I'm going to see your presentation. And that was one of the biggest things with the last presentations that I saw with the last Prezis, was things were out of order. And I could tell that you guys didn't really understand what, these were over here for and how to use these and how to get these to help you. It's very important with this presentation that you go in order with the way it is listed in the module. So you see in the module I have sections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. And so as I'm going through your presentation, the very first, section I should see is this one, which is on the causes of World War II. And then when I click the next arrow, it should show me Pearl Harbor. And then it should show me the Holocaust, etc. Okay? So this, this area here on the left is how you know what I'm going to see when I press the next button. And then, of course, you can always hit present and present it, look at the presentation yourself. Okay, two more things I want to quickly point out, and if you have any more questions while you're working, of course, please, please, please ask me. First of all, you can make these bigger and smaller just like you can the pictures. So, that right there is kind of small. It's actually kind of useless. You can make it bigger. Or you can just, delete it and put another frame there. And you'll notice when I first logged on and opened this one up, there were only 6 areas in which you could, make a newspaper page. And you need 7. So to make more areas, click on Draw Rectangle Frame, and then you just draw it wherever you want. And it's going to give you a blank frame. And it's going to put it over here also for you to do whatever you want with it. So in this instance, since I deleted one, I need to draw 2 more. But again, draw it anywhere you want. I don't care. Because I'm not really going to see any of this. When I see it as a presentation, I'm just going to see it move through each of these pages. And that's what I'm looking for more than anything. Again, guys, I can't stress enough for you to email me, text me, call me, whatever, if you are having trouble doing anything with this. Okay? Thank you.